Hey everybody, I'm at Lassen National Park, and over my shoulder you might be able to see a little bit of Mount Lassen, which is a giant volcano. I've been seeing a lot of volcanoes lately. You know, I don't know much about this national park. It's one that I haven't heard people talk about too often. You know, you hear about the same ones over and over. Don't hear too much about this one. I do know that there was a fairly recent eruption from the giant volcano, I think 1915, and it became a national park right after that eruption. So it's not one of the newer national parks, but yeah, let's see what else we can find out about it. Good morning, everybody. I'm at the Lassen National Forest. I think that's right. It's right outside of the national park, the Lassen National Park. And I stayed at what online they said was like a rest stop, but really it's a sledding hill. You can't see the sledding hill from here. All you can see from here is our woods. And this is just like a loop, a parking lot loop. And up there are vault toilets or pit toilets. And then this is just sort of a parking area that I'm in. Apparently the ski hill, or the sledding hill, is back there somewhere. There's no one living anywhere near here, so I can't imagine who comes out here to sled, but I don't know. Interesting. So, headed into the park today. Oh, I'm sorry. So spent the night here last night, and it was quiet. Well, it's pretty close to the main road here that goes in and out of the park, so it was a little loud until maybe 8 or 9 o'clock. Not loud, just cars going by on the road in the distance. And then, okay, so looking at the sky last night after it got really dark, I don't think I've ever seen stars that well as I did from here. So it's about 7:30 in the morning, and this place is a ghost town. Nobody here, no vehicles. I was about to go to the visitor center. It must not, if it opens at all, it must not open until later. Maybe because it's off season now. Maybe it doesn't even open during the week. It was open yesterday. I should have asked some questions when I was there. I went in there and waited a while and looked around, and there was a woman asking the ranger questions the entire time. So I just left. But now it's closed, and even the little entry, what do you call it? The entrance where they check your pass or you pay them, that had no one in there either. So I think this place is pretty empty during the week, from what I could tell, during off season anyway. And it's cold, and the sun hasn't come out. As soon as the sun comes out, it'll be fine. Hopefully it does. But I have not seen the sun yet, and you can't see Lassen Peak today. It's covered in fog, so hopefully it all kind of burns off and the sun comes out. But I'm gonna hike anyways, either way. So let's get going. This is hot rock. It's actually a giant piece of lava that is no longer hot. It's quite cold, like the air today. But they call it hot rock because they say 40 hours after the eruption back in 1914, this rock was still sizzling hot. They came to inspect this area, and this giant piece of rock was still making all the water and around it sizzle. So they call it hot rock. It's really big. And here's a picture, 1914, after the eruption. I believe they call this Paradise Meadow. This is the meadow, obviously. You know, and if there wasn't so much fog or whatever you'd call it, clouds, I believe Lassen Peak is right there behind us. But there is a pretty large creek running through here, and I think it goes down a waterfall into a lake, and it's called Hat Lake. I think that's right over here, so let's go check it out. Yeah, this is pretty. So it's a tiny little trail alongside the water, alongside the creek. Yeah, this is like, you gotta be careful. Fall right in the water. Yeah, you know, it's not a natural waterfall, it doesn't look like. So that's the main road that goes to the park, and then it's like a little man-made waterfall over there. Anyways, the meadow's beautiful, and on to the next thing. I'm not sure why they call it Hat Lake. It must be that if you hike up the meadow, maybe there's a lake up there. To be honest with you, it's just a little too cold and windy. As you can see, I had to upgrade to a real winter coat instead of my hoodie. And it's just a little too cold for me to do all of these hikes. So I'm going to do the ones that I'm really interested in. Oh look, the sun's coming out a little bit. Way over there on those trees. This is King's Creek Trail. I am not going to do the full trail because it takes a couple of hours. And again, I'm trying to prioritize some of the things I really want to do. But this trail ends at a beautiful waterfall. It's actually a loop. The trail's a loop, and at the far end of the loop there's a beautiful waterfall. But I've seen a lot of waterfalls, so I'm going to again prioritize the things like the more geothermic mud pots and all those kind of things. But I just wanted to walk down, get a little view of the creek, because even right here, short ways down the trail, it's very beautiful. And here's a picture of the Kings Creek Falls. Very pretty. This is a popular stop. It's right near one of the entrances to the park. You can smell the sulfur from here. This is called Sulfur Works. And you can tell by the smell where it gets its name. From 1865 until 1952, the Supan family ran Sulfur Works and the Sulfur Works Inn right at this place right here, and they made it kind of like a spa where you could get like steam treatments from the mud pots and all that kind of stuff. In 1952, the Park Service purchased this and added it to the national park.